gone.
Hello and welcome to the We Are Birmingham podcast. I'm Chris Golding.
I'm Matthew Elliott.
And as ever, we're joined by the vegan. Good evening, Dave. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. We've how many episodes into this, and we've established I'm not a vegan, but yeah, it's coming on. You do you.
That
You do you.
sticks. Meat sticks. Otherwise known as kebabs. So before we start, a couple of things. Audio issues. Thank you everyone for the feedback on the audio.
As constructive as it was.
Yeah.
Not literal feedback, obviously.
Oh no, not that feedback. So we put out the Ko-fi links, ko-fi.com/We Are Birmingham last week. We've got a few donations in, bought some new equipment. The donations didn't cover it. We covered some, but thank you. Thank you to those who did donate. And if you want to, that's the URL. Bought some new equipment. Hopefully, issues should be sorted. So if you're watching and you're listening, please let us know how we sound. If we sound all right, we can adjust it during the live chat.
Just let us know what this sounds like, not what we sound like.
We sound like.
Yeah.
Not like, you sound like a bunch of dicks.
I don't want any more criticism.
I'm
already heartbroken. Yeah.
The next thing I think we're looking to fund is a new chair for Matthew, which isn't made out. I think you're sitting on a seat of springs.
No, the company. This is a. No, this is an expensive chair that the company bought for me. It's got a heated massager in it and everything. So you'll just have to deal with the creaks. I'm not getting rid of it.
BCFC Fan TV has said audio is great, so thank you. Hopefully we're coming through your ears nice and loud.
She's also done some extensive testing, which we did before.
Yeah, extensive testing. Also, the other thing to mention, aside from audio, or it's sort of to do with audio, because you might hear it in the background at some point, is that myself and Chewy are solo parenting this evening. So if at any point we have to disappear, we have to, because kids.
Yeah, we would have been live about 40 minutes ago had it not been for my youngest
having a power nap.
Well, waking up from what she thought was a power nap, but she's been told, so hopefully.
But we are early still. We are still early. We're a minute early.
We are all of 3 or 4 minutes early, are we? So how are we? What have we been up to? What's the latest, guys?
So last week I jumped in and I jumped the gun and I said we've done everything for the house. It's all done. Now it is signed, sealed, exchanged. Happy days. Hopefully get the keys next Thursday. Hopefully get the keys. So going forward, it might be an issue with recording over the next couple of weeks because we've got a few bits and bobs to do on the house. So bear with us in the coming weeks. But yeah, that's my big news. That and work. So how about you guys?
Dave, I'll let you go, Dave.
Since we last spoke, went to Oasis. That was pretty good.
Saw you all Oasis clobbered up.
I was going to say, I've
done the merch.
Look what I've got it here. I can go full.
No, I still haven't taken the piss out of you for that. To be fair,
I couldn't go to an Oasis gig, and I haven't owned a bucket hat since 1998. So it was
that is so unfair.
So it's a good excuse just to.
He does look like Kevin with that.
I thought you said I look like Garth. You got to make your mind up.
That was Garth, but I think Chris has just tagged you with Kevin from Kevin and Perry there with the bucket hat.
Or maybe it's Perry. Hello, Miss Patterson.
Well. Anyway, it was very, very good. It was very, very good.
You have a good time.
Yeah.
Didn't get no Coldplay moments, no.
No. He did actually mention that, and had a bit of a rant about it. Didn't get back till 4:15 in the morning, which wasn't a great move, but it's very good.
It's pretty. That Coldplay thing is vile, disgusting. so glad they
Coldplay
got
are vile and disgusting. Yeah,
You've just ruined his joke
disgusting.
there.
I'm so glad they got caught, because anyone that goes to a Coldplay concert should not be able to live that up afterwards.
I knew
Yeah,
you'd ruined it there.
They've just ruined it for me.
What about
you
you,
set
Joe?
it all up. I'll ruin them for you.
What's going on with me? Not a lot. I'm trying to remain sane. I've been just exposed to K-pop demon hunters for the past 5 weeks. School holidays has been a bit. They start earlier here. My kids have been obsessed with the soundtrack and the film, and I'm waking up in the middle of the night and it's ringing in my ears, and every day it's on the TV, it's playing on tablets, on Alexa, and it's driving me crazy. I even got into the car the other day and the radio came on and it was playing one of the singles from the film. It's really popular and it's absolutely driving me around the bend, and I can't do anything about it.
Does this mean that we're going to see you in a K-pop t-shirt, not an emo t-shirt?
Absolutely no chance. I'm trying to escape it. I'm not joining it. But yeah, other than that, I'm here.
We're in.
I'm here. So
right. So, do you want to start with what we've got on the schedule, or do you want to start with the question that's coming? Because there's a question that's coming straight away.
Let's start with the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
BCFC Fan TV said, do we start as a back three with Clara, Neumann, and the Brighton kid, or him and Neumann with Clara dropping?
So no, I don't think we start with a back three, because I think we would have seen it already had we. And I think that the amount of time they put into it over the past, the patterns of play and the structure over the past 12 months, more than 12 months, would suggest I don't think they're going to change things now. And also, you're going for a back three. We've only really then got Bielik as backup, so you'll be looking to probably sign another one or another two centre backs. So we'll get on to the cash in stuff. So I mean, do you want to start there, or do you want to go with it?
We will wherever you want to go, mate. I'm just going to jump in on that bit. I'm with you. I can't see that we've done all of the work. I mean, to be fair, in pre-season, it's not looked like we've changed systems. We've changed personnel, and that's gonna affect the way that games play out, because there are attackers that are a bit more direct and that play a different way, and that will so the system will remain the same, but it will adapt. But yeah, I can't see that. I mean, the options there. So if there's a game, we've got the players there that we can change mid match. But I don't think we will generally. I think that it'll be as we were.
No, I suppose we'll just start with the cashing thing, and maybe start around the latest transfers, and then we'll go into the other little bits. A lot of this is transfer based anyway today. So what are you going to say?
Before we do, actually, I've just remembered, and I'm going to forget if we don't do it. I've got a Wagner of the week to throw in really early.
Okay, this is interesting.
Oh no, because you don't know
Wagner of the week. No, I don't.
So it's our mate Dan Ivory, Almagier.
Oh, he's going to hate this.
He's not going to listen. It's fine.
This is true.
He put a post out last night, basically saying he's hanging up the keyboard, he's retiring, and a really brave post, I thought, for him to do, knowing him as we do. I mean, he doesn't shy away from sort of saying things, but the depth that he went into was a very brave post to put out, with feelings and stuff that he'd gone through, experiences, and I just think that he got a lot of recognition last night and deserved it, plaudits almost. But
it's worth mentioning that isn't why he put that out either, because it's actually the opposite, really. So, yeah. But I think it balls out to him, because it's. But I think it's been playing on his mind for quite a while. Obviously, certainly talks to me quite a bit, and I'm sure he talks to you guys as well about just how he's feeling, and I've obviously known him for quite a long time now as well, and so this is something that's bothered him for years, and he's done the right thing for him. So fair play to him.
Yeah. Zarking in chat's just said Almagier is a blue god. That's awful news. Do you know what? It's not awful news. It's good that he's looking after himself.
Yeah.
Rather than doing.
And speaking up about it, like the more that people realise that, because your online persona can be a bit of a facade sometimes, can't it? So I think it's important for people to realise that there'll be a lot of times when Daniel we won't spend too long on this, would tweet out something personal or just random, something that he's doing, like, and someone would he'd say, is it a gig, or maybe he's written something about his daughter, and someone would reply to it with like, got any transfer news, mate, or something along those lines. And I know that drives him absolutely nuts, because people just, hang on to him for that sort of stuff. So I'm really proud of him for speaking up like that, and
absolutely.
So
I am as well. That's why I wanted to mention it, because
so fair play, and he doesn't need to know about this because he'd hate it. So
don't tell him.
don't listen.
Right, but yeah, it's for Dan. Right, go on then. Let's move on. Where are we going?
Do you want to start with cashing? Aaron.
AI says Aaron.
I probably should really listen to. I've never really paid attention when he's been what the commentators call him, to be fair, or anything along those lines. But left footer, obviously, so brings an end to, I think, any chance of Ben Davies coming back. I think on that note, I think from what we understand, that Rangers are quite difficult to deal with. So I think Blues had probably just walked away from that deal, and we're hoping Rangers might come back to it, and obviously not happen. But we've held interest in cashing for quite a while. I think whilst he was at Derby, we quite liked him. I think there was a possibility that Brighton were going to sign him a year or so ago, and we were potentially going to loan him then as well. So it's obviously someone that Craig Gardner's held in high regard. Left-footed, really not the quickest, not super athletic.
Reads the game well.
I think that's the important. He reads the game well. I'm not sure.
Kenny Cunningham comparison in that regard, in that.
So I saw someone else say that. Yeah, I think you're probably right there, because I don't really consider him to be. I've seen a few people say about him being a ball playing centre back. I mean, he can pass the ball, but I wouldn't call him a ball playing centre back. But he's quite committed, blood and thunder. He's not the tallest, but I know he's from the 2 or 3 games that I've seen him play. He looks like he's got a fair jump on, a fair leap on him. So yeah, I mean, in terms of like Brighton, I think Brighton spent like £9 million on him, or something along £8 or £9 million on him, and it still baffles me, because I'm not convinced he's a Premier League player, or he has the minerals to be a Premier League player. But what's he, 23, 24 this year? So I mean, they're going to want him. They're going to want some fast track development with us. It wouldn't surprise me if he did well that we ended up signing him next summer, because I'm not entirely convinced that he'll end up back at Brighton. But
it'll be for me, it's interesting now as to, and it's been mentioned in the chat by Paul B there as well. Do you think that he'll start above Clara Neumann? The left-footed balance is obviously going to play into it, and that's what Paul's just mentioned in chat. And Davis last season, obviously.
I mean, Davis isn't. I mean, Chris Davis isn't afraid of making, big calls. They're obviously started to do that quite a lot already during this transfer window. For me, no, I think it remains Clara and Neumann. It looks like Neumann's going to be on that right hand side. The only thing that bothers me about Cashin is that I think whilst Cochrane's got a really good motor down that left hand side, he's not super athletic, and again, Cashin's not really super athletic either. So I know maybe left-footed centre backs, athletic centre backs are quite difficult to track down, and I guess they're not as common as right-footed athletic centre backs. But For me, it's still Clara, still Neumann and Clara. Cashin, I'm sure will get his chance. But yeah, I don't see him being a regular at the beginning. But you say you're only one injury away from playing 20, 30 games or whatever. So one thing I will say is I saw a handful of people say, "Oh, that'll be good cover for left back as well." He's in no way a left back, and even emergency cover would be a bit of a concern for me because he's, again, go back to the pace and athleticism. We need someone more in the mould of Laird on that left hand side as a left back cover or left back competition, as it should really be.
Well, we've got a comment that's just come in that said you don't get these loan players from Premier League clubs to sit them on the bench. I think that's why Beadle starts. For me, I don't think Chris Davis is afraid to loan a player and not play him if he doesn't perform. Or
he came out and said, so he did an interview, didn't he, last week, Chris Davis? I don't know if anyone's seen it, but he said basically the way he framed it was it's a goalkeeping competition, but Ryan is in pole position now. So, and the fact that Beadle was with the fringe outcasts first team players at Crewe would suggest that Allsop is. So Brighton could well have put in penalty clauses for Beadle not to play. Whether they do the same with Cashin, I don't know. There's going to be a sense of loyalty to Allsop, I think, from Davis, because he did very little wrong. His distribution is key to the way we play. Obviously knows the way we play fairly well as well, which is really important. And Beadle's still going to be learning that. Oh, Cat's just joined me.
And my daughter's just started coughing, potentially crying.
But no, I get where Paul is coming from, because that's my feeling on Beadle was the same. But I feel like last week or the week before, I think whenever we had Ben on, I think we both said that Beadle will start. I think you said Allsop.
I said
Allsop.
Start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was me and Ben that said. But after the interview with Davis the other day, I'm now less convinced. So,
well, Zarking's just said that these loans will need to fight for their place. Allsop starts and it's his to lose. Also, with cut games, we'll have games to play them and injuries. So for anyone who's not watching and then only listening, Matthew's just lifted his cat across the screen in that room.
We need to get some kind of little tally going on this, because this cat's a regular kind of regular opinion.
I left the door open. I left the door open so I could hear if the youngest cried, and instead the cat's obviously come through one of the windows and then made his way in here. To be fair, he sits in here all day with me when I'm working from home, and he'll just sit. He's got a little bed right here.
What's the cat's name for any new listeners?
Rollins.
Oh, Rollins.
So I've had him for nearly 11 years, and I had him and his brother. His brother was Ambrose. So Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and no, not Darren, Ambrose. I can't even remember his name now. Yeah, they were wrestlers basically, NXT at the time, WWE. Dean Ambrose, that's it. Yes, yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
I don't watch wrestling anymore. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan.
And Ozzy, if you can.
And Ozzy, yeah. Not a wrestler. Not a wrestler.
So for me, yeah, I can't see any loan player coming in and just being guaranteed a place, and I think that means if there's a fine involved where we have to pay the club X amount, bless you, Dave, for no one heard that, did they? So Dave's not on scene at the moment.
So Chris could see me sneeze, but Chris couldn't hear me sneeze because we're previewing this in two different windows.
I heard you.
You heard me sneeze?
I heard you.
Yeah.
But no one else would have heard you.
Shit, I didn't realise my mic was live when it was not on this thing. I'll make sure I'm not slagging you both off.
Oh, this is going well, isn't it? Really?
Right, back to you.
Sorted the audio. Yeah, I can't see any loan player unless, I think we'll be happy to pay any fee to fine, should we say, for not playing loan players, because I don't think that sits with what Davis and what we're trying to do there now. So I don't think we're just going to be a club that develops players. I think it has to they have to have a purpose in the team, and I think that goes for all of them, anyone that's coming in.
I think with the cash in one over Beadle, I think it seems quite clear that Brighton aren't going to be looking to sell Beadle. I think they do see him as their future number one in England. I mean, a lot of people that said Carl Rushworth was going to potentially next off their rank. He's just gone on loan to Coventry, and I think there's potential for them to take him permanently. I think there might be potential for us to take cash in permanently at some point, but we'll see where that one goes. So there's going to be, I would imagine, there's probably more stipulations in the Beadle one than there are in this one with cash in.
Yeah. But equally, I think I can see it just going, no, we'll pay it, whatever it is, we'll pay it. And if there's a recall in there in the summer, in the winter, so be it. If he's not,
I mean, Davies isn't going to care, is he?
No,
he might be.
no.
He might be advised by people, but yeah, I don't. If he'll do what he believes is best for the team,
and ultimately for his record, because that's what he's after, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
So interestingly, while we were talking about the you said left back cover and not using him for left back cover, not using cash in for it. So Miles Garrington said, assuming the duck gets done, so that's Dutch, obviously.
Feed the duck and he will score. Quack, quack.
What do you think we'll likely do for the rest of the window? I feel we really need that right winger and depth at left back. Now, left back is one that you said earlier to me.
You can't, I mean, you can't flog Cochrane the way we did last season. I mean, we probably will play less games this season, which is fair enough, but fewer games, less games.
So once again, Dave's just decided to pop up in the background. No one else could hear him.
So it's put me right off there.
I know, what a dick.
That left back that left back competition has to be a priority for me. We've got Laird and Bright Samuel down that right hand side, and Taylor Gardner Hickman, if you will, and whoever else you want down that side. But
Samstead, while he's there. So interesting that you've just mentioned Laird there, because we've had another comment as well. Isn't Laird going?
No.
So hang on, we're going to roll into this. £12 million bid apparently from Southampton that was being rumoured. He's just injured.
Yeah, someone just made that up and it spread quite quickly, didn't it?
I mean, ultimately, I couldn't see Southampton paying £12 million for a player who, as much as I love him, is made of biscuits at the moment.
Getting stronger though, to be fair, and I think the new fitness program that he's been given by the Super Green team and Blue Sports Scientists.
Could have given some of that to Emil Hansen as well, couldn't they?
Maybe they did. It just didn't work.
Maybe he didn't eat his greens.
Maybe
that's what happens, kids. But yeah, I don't think there's anything in the Laird thing. You watch him join Southampton.
I think it would take quite a large. I think it would take quite a significant bid for us to let him go anyway, because Man United have got a very 35 or 40% sell on him. So, which
I thought it was 50.
Yeah, I think the original rumours were 50, but then I think the Athletic maybe had said, or Simon Stone potentially said it was like 35. So, which is, I think it negated this, because I think we got him for a fairly low fee at that point as well. But no, I think Davies and the coaching staff are fine. He's too important, and you've got Bright Samuel's going to be off to the African Cup of Nations for the best part of 2 months as well, in the winter. So, you're going to need good right back cover, or a good right back. And FME Laird still starts as well down that side. It's something that Asaya Samuel has to earn that start, providing Laird's fit, of course, because he's obviously picked up an injury. But let's hope he's back this weekend. So we went off on a tangent there.
Yes. Sorry.
And it was, what else do you think we're going to do in the window, which we were going to talk about anyway. So I think as a bare minimum, we've just said left back. I think most people expect us to do a right winger. You just mentioned Feed the Duck. We'll get on to him in a minute because I think we've spoken about this offline.
Online.
And then
Off air,
obviously
off air, but online.
Off air, it very much depends on what other business outgoings we do. So I think everybody expects people like Sanderson and Roberts and Hall and Chang, Hansen, Samsa to go. But if there's potential that Leonard goes, which is, is being talked about, it's a little bit more noisy around that now. He's got a lot of interest. It's clearly not first choice or not even third choice now, centre midfielder, for whatever reason. We've spoken about bits on that before. Taylor Gardner-Hickman might not be, might go. Bielik might go. Chris Davis's comments about Alfie May in today, and I think he did an interview with Alex Dickin yesterday. I don't know if anyone has read it, but he said basically, long story short, is they didn't really want Alfie to go. Like they would have liked to keep him, but then also had to be honest with him and say, with the players we've brought in, game time's going to be really limited. The ball's in your court. You make a decision. If you want to play, then we'll do a deal. If you don't, we're happy to have you as part of the squad, but you're going to be used sparingly. So
that was I sort of, I can't remember if it was you guys that I'd spoken to or if it was in another Blues chat that I'm in, but I pretty much said that before Chris Davis had said anything. I still haven't heard what he said, but I could imagine that
was a short version, but it's pretty accurate.
The conversation with Alf. So one of the questions actually is thoughts on May transfer, so it sort of rolls into that. But I can imagine that he's had that conversation, that they've told him, look, we're happy to have you in and around, but you might be fourth choice, so your game time might be limited. Or, and I was speaking to someone last night and said, do you know what? You might not actually end up with a squad place if the numbers are up there. You might not even get registered. So if you want to be playing, it's probably best for you to take this move. And do you know what? It works for all parties. Then, as good as Alfie May is to have around a squad, as good as he was last season as a character, even when he wasn't playing, didn't kick up a fuss, he just waited for his chance. He celebrated every goal.
Davis alluded to that as well, like his character around the club and the dressing room, that he's really highly thought of. So he said that's one of the most difficult things he's had to do in this job so far. I mean, it's only been in it for just over a year, isn't it? But it's a fair comment. I mean, we're going all over the shop here, so we'll probably come back to that. We'll fly through that. But anybody else? So I think it very much depends on other outgoings. So
Lynn Dykes,
yeah, potentially. I mean, I think you'd have people say, this is, I was going to do it. So people say, well, if we're bringing in the Duck, as we're just going to call him, then Dykes can go. But I don't think they're similar players, despite their build. Physical attributes would suggest that they are, but they're not.
Ben from Blues Breakdown put out that the post of his abilities, and the aerial ability was just like
he won like 20% of headers or something for 6'3".
Has he done something wrong? Put a typo in this graph that's made it.
Is it the wrong way around? Should it be 92% or something? But it's bizarre because I mean, I remember Marvin Luch from, I think he was quite highly rated at Dortmund, probably 10, 11 years ago or something along those lines. And he was supposed to be one of their next big things coming out of their academy, and he'd scored a lot of goals, I think, in their second or their youth teams and second team. But when he got into the first team, played a few games and didn't really do anything, so he was sold. I think it took him a couple of clubs to find his rhythm. He's obviously been a frequent goal scorer, a goal contributor, goals and assists for the last few years, and been in and around the Germany squad for like 18 months ago as well. So obviously very good player, but looking at some of the footage and then based on some of the stuff that Ben shared with us, that he looks like he's more playing in that Willemsen or Dow role than an actual number 9. He plays quite deep, doesn't he?
So this was what sort of struck me about the stats and sort of seeing his positional stats and whatnot, the videos, was, when Dykes came in and he played that bit deeper as almost playing in it as a 10 almost,
Yeah.
but a bigger sort of target man, and that was like, to me, so maybe he is coming in as a replacement for Dykes, but in that sort of role, that it's so that you're not having to play one of these creative midfielders in a number 10, but it's the sort of target man role in that deeper role. So that's where I could see him coming into it.
Yeah, I think if Dykes goes, I still think they'll look to bring another one in. I do, and
That
I'm
wouldn't
sure
surprise me.
Dykes has. I'm sure a
Well,
lot of these fringe
having
players have
lost
interest.
having lost Alfie May, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, when I think we sort of mentioned, didn't we, when we were linked with Kyogo before we signed him, that it felt like May's days were probably, if not numbered, then very limited.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean,
while we're on the subject here, do you want to look at one of the questions that have come in just regarding Leonard as well?
Go on then.
Yeah.
Paul B, if we lose Leonard, will we have to replace and get another centre midfield?
Yeah, I mean, I get. See, my
Tommy Doyle in, so I think
so Tommy Doyle for me is the person they brought in, not necessarily to replace Leonard, because I think Doyle is, of any of them, is probably going to be a regular starter of any of the new signs. He's, for me, probably, obviously Kyogo as well, but Doyle's far too good to be sitting on the bench. So what you're really looking for is someone that you can bring in for Iwata and have that more defensive, maybe a little bit more physical. We spoke about physical before, but a little bit more athletic. Someone can get themselves up and down the pitch, maybe a little bit bigger, because we've got a team of midgets, or quite a few midgets, as I've been saying recently. So I think you're looking for, you're looking for like Football Manager, Championship Manager speak, a defensive midfielder centre. Like that's what you're going to be looking for, as opposed to. But yeah, if Leonard goes, you are going to replace him, aren't you? I think.
Yeah.
Because I think originally Gardner Hickman was brought in to be one of those centre midfielders, and he was used there about 3 times.
Ultimately, when we don't know how many players are going to leave, so at this point, it could be that it's like this revolving door is like, do you know what? You can go. Like we're happy to replace you. So it's like that revolving door goes. Someone else comes in. So
I mean, if you think of some of the players we signed last season, right? So
are we going to go there?
So you got BPF gone, Ayumu gone, Hansen, May gone, Leonard potentially going, Samstead and Hansen look like they're almost on their way. The loans have gone back. You've got Dykes, Taylor Gardner Hickman, and Bielik as well, which probably have question marks over. I think the club would probably like to keep them all, but if offers come in and they want to go and play football, then the same thing, or they have the same conversation they had with me. In theory, we could have 9 or 10 of the players we signed last season, last summer, might not be here in about 3 or 4 weeks' time.
It's that grandpa gif from Simpsons, isn't it? Walks in, puts his hat down, walks around, puts his hat back on, goes home.
They brought players in to get us out the league. A very good record-breaking group of players. Is it not a little bit risky to tear up? I think, and I know you could point to play, but it's not really the first team. It's the fringe players, but it's still a squad game. It's still it's the environment. I know the club have worked hard on the mental side of things, and it's just the camaraderie between the squads. Like, I think it's quite risky. What we did
overdoing it.
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
I,
it's a risk to change too much.
and you're bringing loads of players in,
But
getting rid of loads of players. We did it last year because it was a necessity, and I think we got very, very lucky with the way it all came together very, very quickly. There's no guarantee that that blueprint works in the next level up with better opposition, with players that, you know, they go out to buy players that have the right mentality. Chris Davis makes a point of saying we need to bring the right players in or keep the wrong players out. But it's very hard to gel these sorts of players very, very quickly, both on a personal level and on a playing level. So I think this is quite, the work they're doing is quite risky for me.
So there's a couple of comments that have just come in. John Paul Taylor said, with the Brighton kid, we're at 29 and the squad limit is 25. I can still see 6 or 7 going. Dion, Samstead, Bielik, Leonard, Wright, January maybe, Hansen, Dykes. No sentiment should be had, I'm afraid, which I get and I understand. Then Adam has said pretty much what you've just said. It's called being ruthless. I just hope it doesn't destabilize the team.
Yeah, and I get why they're doing it. It's kind of, it's the nature of being relegated and wanting to get out of the league below now, the league we're in, quickly by bringing in players that can get you out. It's not about sentiment. It is a score game, and you're going to want to bring in better players, and I completely get that. It's an exciting time, but I still think it's quite risky to do. We did get very lucky last season with how it all came together very, very quickly. This is a very different squad of players already, and it almost feels a bit, I know that the strategy of signing players has changed significantly, I think, as well. They were a little bit more careful last season. I think this season, I wouldn't say it was haphazard, or there's maybe a touch. I can't really articulate it very well. It's a touch reckless in some ways. Like, clearly, like, we've spoke about it a couple of weeks ago about the money being spent or not being spent, as some people say. We've spent a lot of money, and some on players that didn't even have a transfer fee. So, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
I get why they would do it, and I think a lot of it's down to the huge amount of pressure on Davies, the coaching staff, and Craig Gardner. Because make no bones about it, whatever they say, no, make no bones about it, that's Steve Bruce, isn't it? They want promotion again. They want promotion again, and that's where that pressure's on them to just build this squad to get straight out of this league again. And yeah, it's exciting, but it's not without its risk, is it? Let's be honest.
Okay, so
go on, Chris.
Go on, Dave.
I was going to say, so do you think that's the intention this year then? You know, to get out the championship.
Yeah, they might not say it in certain words. I'm sure Chris Davis will play it down, and I'm sure the club will frame it in certain ways. But 100%, the message from the owners and the board is to get straight out. I mean,
let's be honest though. To anyone in football, is that not the ultimate aim?
Well, yeah,
if you're in the championship,
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You want to see your team promoted?
Yeah, no, of course it is. But you don't see it done very often, do you?
So when we got relegated, it's not like we're Lincoln City getting promoted. It's a completely different thing. So we got relegated. We cleared out because we wanted to. Yeah. We had the money to go and spend big last summer. We did. We've got some money to go and spend big this summer. We are. The intention, it's not like we're on small scale here. So we absolutely should be going.
We need to be ambitious. High. Yeah, we do need to be ambitious, but
when I say that, I don't think that means that Davis should be sacked if he doesn't make playoffs. Like, that's, which it might get ruthless to that point. I'm not sure whether it will. I hope it doesn't. Let's be honest, I hope that we're up there anyway. So,
but I mean, based on the squad, providing the players gel together, and we make more additions, to make the handful of other additions, then I mean, in theory, on paper, we should absolutely be up there. But there is a huge amount of pressure on them. There's a huge amount of pressure on them last season as well. I feel like they've gone around things a little bit differently this summer. Maybe they had to. It probably sounds like I'm criticizing. I'm not criticizing, but I think it is
cautious.
Yeah, it is. Needs to be cautious and a little bit of concern, because I think it is risky.
Right, so as Steve Bruce always used to say, we need time for the players to gel.
More Steve Bruce quotes.
If you're bringing in more and more players, then it's difficult to get them to gel. But
They
let's hope
gelled
that
very quickly last summer. We were quite lucky, but I think you had so many people coming in together, and I think we were quite lucky last season. That isn't always the case, is it? We've seen how squads can implode when there's so much turnover.
The comment just come in. Wagner has said in public that we want back-to-back. Now, as an owner, yeah, they probably do, and I don't think that's not a pressure thing. That's not a achieve it or you're out. I just think that's like I've just said, that's the ambition. That's what they want. They're going to spend the money to try and achieve it. If they don't,
Wagner says a lot of things in public that he probably shouldn't say. To be fair, a lot of things.
We're loaded.
We've got loads of money. We're going to spend loads of money. Smart. It's like when Carson Young said, "Yeah, we're going to spend 40 million in this transfer window." Come on.
Yeah.
Not putting him in the same bucket as Carson Young, by the way, just in case anyone wants to bring that up. I'm not doing that.
Sure. Right. Where next?
I don't know, because we've gone all over the place and haven't really kept any agenda, because we keep. It's great to have questions. Don't get me wrong, and it's kind of in the same ballpark. But do you know what? You choose.
Shall I? Tom Fellows, 50. That's probably not the one to read, but Lee Burke. Tom Fellow, £15 to Everton.
Tom Fellows,
15 million pounds to Everton. Yeah, that was one that would have been nice earlier on in the window.
Yeah, but I don't think we were. I think that was again another just a rumor that started on SHA that was completely fabricated and had no substance to it, wasn't it? It was another one of those.
So your comment about Wagner and I know where we're going to go next, which is your comment about Wagner and Carson Young. Zarking's just said, "I've heard Wagner is a mean hairdresser."
You can tell, yeah.
So
zero all over.
BCFC Fan TV has put this in a few times, so let's bring this one up. Right. Where does Stano factor in this season with the new upfront signings?
What are the bench?
No. I think that's going to be, because we're bringing in more quality this season, I don't think that there's going to be an obvious starting lineup, and I think that rotation will be used a lot more than it was last season.
Let's rewind 12 months and say,
I know,
because we both said this before, didn't we? We said there'll be horses for courses. They'll change the squad as per the opponent, and it never happened. But maybe it will this season. Maybe the championship is going to be a tougher league, or up against better opponents, and it's going to probably be, not that he wasn't tactical in League One, but maybe he will make more tactical personnel changes for certain games. But I mean, Kyogo, I mean, Jay Stansfield's got his whole career ahead of him, and he can play in multiple positions. So, he will frequently get game time, because whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, he's going to be in and around the squad always. He's kind of like, he's Wagner's love child. He's the poster boy of Blues, isn't he? So we'll see him probably play on wide. Sometimes we'll probably see him drop deep. Sometimes we'll probably see him as a number 9 sometimes. So yeah, it is a squad game. I think it's always worth reminding people of that. you'd hope the players in the squad get utilised. So certainly with the players we've brought in and we're looking to bring in, there's quite a lot of strength and depth there. There will be suspensions, there will be injuries.
I think we'll definitely see a lot more than we did last season. I think that there's, with more quality, I think that has to happen. So where have I just seen that? Blue Nose in the chat has just said Kyogo 16-1 top scorer on Bet365, and am I missing something? Don't know, but I've just put it on. I've had a go on that.
Yeah, how much you put on?
I don't know. That could last the season, wouldn't it?
I might have a look.
Yeah, I've jumped on it before I mentioned it, so that the odds didn't drop. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much scored goals. I mean, you can't really count France because he played the grand total of about 120 minutes. He scored goals everywhere he's been, hasn't he? So he had a good chance at the weekend that he probably should have put away, but he looked, whilst his movement looked good, he did look like a guy that hadn't played a lot of football recently.
I've been told that in training he's looked one step ahead of everyone as well in terms of movement and receiving the ball where he wants to receive the ball, and people not being on the same wavelength. So just put the light on. But yeah, I'm very excited to see. And going back to the question, I don't think, like you said, I don't think that that's the end of Jay Stansfield. I don't think it's the end. No. It's going to be, and I don't think it means that they're going to pigeonhole him in other places. I mean, let's be honest, across that front line, he could play anywhere. He's good enough to play
anywhere. He has played anywhere, hasn't he?
Yeah. So I think that there's definitely going to be a place for him, and there's going to be, he'll fit in. Right. Is there anything on your list that we haven't covered, or that you want to?
I was going to talk about. I think we were going to talk a little bit about some of the friendlies, weren't we? Or not like spend too much time on them because they were friendlies. But did we talk? We haven't. The podcast was before every friendlies hadn't started, had they?
No.
So
then the Moors one got cancelled because of the state of the pitch.
Which was horrific, wasn't it?
I was out somewhere at the weekend, so I didn't even get to watch last weekend's one. So I'll let you summarise.
I don't know. Did you want? We didn't speak about Sevilla, did we? Or did we? No. No. So I think that's a good place to start, because obviously
the first one.
That didn't even feel like a friendly. It felt like a cup game, because even though they were a little bit behind us in terms of their pre-season, they seemed right up for it. We seemed quite up for it. The intensity for a friendly was pretty wild, I thought, actually. I don't. Friendly games are fine to watch sometimes, but you're always very, very aware that it's a friendly for the most part. But that game was like a cup game, and I really enjoyed that. And there was some flashes from most players, some of the young players as well. Obviously, Viteka looked quite good. I think
looked good in a couple of games.
Kesh Anderson was coaching him through that whole game. I don't know if you watched it, but he was always telling him where to go, shouting to him, and I think it's good words of encouragement. It was really, really good to see, actually. Some nice patterns of play, aggressive. It was a fun game. Absolutely wild free kick from the soon-to-be departing Mark Leonard. I think Chris Davis actually wanted him to pass that free kick, because he was quite annoyed when he put it into the top corner. Obviously there was the little blip from Beadle, which wasn't 100% surprised by, but my heart sort of sank when I saw it, because I thought, you just don't need that on your first game. But yeah, what did you think?
It was a little while ago now, so I didn't watch it on the day. I watched it on Sunday, because I can't remember what I was doing. Like
something really important, like combing your hair or something.
Beard. Yeah. Do you comb your beard?
Yeah. Can't you tell?
So long, it's almost off screen now. We're gonna have to adjust your position in the.
frame my beard.
Can you rack? Oh, hang on. Can it go up onto your head?
Can it go up on my head? Not quite.
Is that the ambition? Is that what you're aiming
It's
for?
getting there, yeah.
You're
Full,
just gonna
comb round.
You're gonna full on defy gravity.
Yeah, full comb round.
Anyway,
no, I did watch it. I was busy on the Saturday. I watched it on the Sunday because Sevilla put it on YouTube, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
So I watched it on there on Sunday with my daughter on the sofa, asleep on me. And it was, like you say, it was feisty. And part of me wondered whether Chris Davis might have sort of had a word with him before and say, don't treat it as a friendly, treat it as a competitive game, like with the opposition. You don't know whether that might have taken place beforehand.
Yeah, it's weird because he said it's weird. Funny you say that because he did mention about the preparation they did beforehand was the same as they were preparing for a league game. I don't think I heard him say that about any of their friendlies last season.
No.
Or since, but I mean, the Sevilla team wasn't their first team. There was a handful of, there was a sprinkling of first team players that started, and I think a few more came on second half. So it was because I looked at their squad. It was
Davis said afterwards as well that they were a
couple of weeks behind them in their
couple of
prep.
weeks behind, and you could see it. But, it's
yeah. I mean, it's still I thought it was a good game. Less enthused by what I watched of the Burton game. I was kind of in and out because I was sort of doing stuff around the house, but that felt a lot like a handful of very frustrating games last season where we did manage to grind out a win in the end. Obviously, it didn't happen on Saturday, but what did Chris Davis call it? We conceded a ridiculous goal early on. He looked really pissed off about that. And I can understand why. We just couldn't seem to. It was very similar to games last season where a lot of their players.
I still don't think I've seen it.
Have you not?
Because
it's kind of a breakaway from the halfway line.
No, I haven't. So on Saturday I was Summerfest in Solihull, getting very drunk, and I had the game on my phone, and I was like half watching it, half flicking back, but then I just gave up. But yeah, I went to look for the highlights, and I couldn't see any highlights, and I could see the interview post-match interview afterwards, but I didn't see any highlights. So talk me through it.
They scored early on. I think it's from memory, it was like a breakaway on the halfway line. I can't remember who their forward was that scored in the end, but he just done us for pace. I think Newman tried to catch up with him, but
Lloyd Dyer.
May as well have been. But then we had so much of the ball, and there was some nice patterns of play, and certainly when the first team were on there, they looked. It was very similar to last season. I think Burton had sort of like once they'd scored, they kind of almost reverted to men behind the ball. So a lot of last season, and we created chances, a handful of chances. We got a few balls into the box, but just never really fell for us, and we weren't really super creative. There's a couple of occasions, and it might just be because they are still getting used to each other. Because obviously Doyle, Peck, and Iwata all started, and Peck sort of was pulling out to the left quite a lot, and it would end up in a 10 quite a bit as well. But Doyle and Iwata, there was just 2 or 3 occasions where they were just occupying the same space, and I don't know. It's probably Iwata probably knows the drill, so you'd imagine that it was probably Doyle that was probably floating into his space. But I think Doyle would Iwata had taken a shot off of Doyle's toes at one point, and Doyle was a bit angry about it at the time. I think you just saw him sulking about it. Koga missed an opportunity that you would expect him to put away, so pretty much one-on-one with the keeper.
Kings just said that Kyogo had 2 chances and hit the keeper both times.
Yeah, the first one when I think he was sort of put through. I think it was the first he was put through on goal. you'd expect him to score that based on all the footage you've seen of him scoring goals before. But as I said, he looked like a player that he looked smart. He was making the runs, but he looked like someone that hadn't played a lot of football in the past few months. So yeah, it was frustrating. We put quite a few balls in, and then the kids came on, and it got a little bit disjointed. But some of them actually looked pretty good. Obviously, I've not seen anything of the Crew game apart from some of the highlights that the club have put out of Ishki running down the left wing, and that's about it. But it didn't sound like any of the veterans or the older first team players covered themselves in glory. So it's only pre-season friendly, isn't it? But
wonder what conversations have been had with those players.
I mean, the way the squad was split felt a bit ominous, but then Beadle's gone with them. But that does reinforce your thought of Allsop being the number one as well. And I think he is at this point in time until, Beadle's earned the right to be number one.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning more towards your channel of thought now.
Really so.
And then the Solihull game, I did start watching that game yesterday. It was kids and bomb squad, as we'll call them. Fair play for retaining the trophy, lads. I'm proud of you. But I didn't see any of the second half because one of my girls cycled over our miniature dash hound and caused a bit of an injury. So we were attending to him all night, and we're hoping that he doesn't have to go to the vets because that's going to be really expensive. But yeah, so I missed the second. I shouldn't laugh because he's hurt, but she doesn't make a habit of cycling over dogs. But he is the size of a fucking gerbil, so.
I'm sure when this happened again, not funny, but I'm sure the way you sent it to me was that driven over or something.
Yeah, she was on a bike.
I thought, what the fuck are your kids doing in cars? And I thought it was a full size dog.
My 6-year-old had jumped into my car and ran over the dash hound, the miniature dash hound. No, she was. Well, I took taking them out for a walk. It was just supposed to be me and my eldest with the two dogs, and then my middle two decided they wanted to come on their bike, so they came, and then that caused a whole commotion, and sausage dog became a flat sausage. Listen,
Rollins with you?
No, he was not. No, he does occasionally follow us up the road, but I try to send him back. So.
Right, I'm going to move on.
Back to the football.
Zara King has just said split this Saturday too as well. So.
Yeah, it's Northampton, Port Vale, is it on?
Yeah,
Saturday. So the Northampton game is a testimonial for one of their players, isn't it? So I would imagine there'd be a level of commitment from Blues to send quite a few first team players to that one. So it'd be interesting to see what the split is.
It would. I think that's the squads on Saturday are going to be interesting because are they going to be split?
Yeah.
Or are they going to be?
Because we're at that point of the season now where they probably want all the first teamers they want to keep in the squad will play at least 60 minutes, you would think. Because they played a game behind closed doors as well, haven't they? So I think
I think so, yeah.
The Solihull game that was cancelled, I'm pretty sure they played probably against each other.
Yeah.
But they played but they've been like 45 minutes and whatnot. So I think now is the time for like 60, and some might do a full 90 potentially.
Yeah. Right. Before we move on, we've had a new listener, Steve Conley. He said, "Why'd you never ask the third bloke? You keep dropping off the screen what he thinks."
I'm here to kind of produce in the background to make sure that these audio levels are correct, and just to
good job last week.
Good job for the last. I'd like to say it's your mic which has made the difference. Third bloke is here to loiter in the background and potentially occasionally come in and just take the piss out of these two. And every so often give not eating vegetables. I'm eating a fucking watermelon.
He's got some interesting books and interesting vinyl back there as well.
Yeah, to kind of provide background to wind people up. Adjudicator, yeah, I'll take that.
And to talk about dogs.
To be fair, we have there is a listener, someone that it won't be watching now, but they tend to listen to us, who did say that you were he rated you as you were an underrated comedian.
Always thought that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now get off the screen, Dave.
Yeah, we're talking.
And occasionally give opinions about Blues as well. You know, just for new, for new YouTube commenter. I am a season ticket holder and have been forever, just not as well opinionated as these two. Anyway, continue.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
And like that, he's gone. Steve Connolly said you're doing a great job. You can tell it's his first time listening, can't you? Now with the new mics.
Shut up. I can easily mute you.
Right. We've got should we have a look forward at the season? Do you want to have a quick blast through that?
Yeah, we can do. I mean, the season basically starts in 2 weeks, doesn't it? Which is it's crept up fairly quickly.
Difficult time to be moving house and doing podcasts, isn't it?
And aren't you get the keys? What on the? Did you say the 31st or the 1st or something?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, which is the 31st. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got
I'm
lots
in
of
England
work
that day
to
actually. So are you coming? Are you still coming to the Trevor Francis Memorial game?
Yeah. Planning to. Yes.
Because I am coming over for that.
I know.
Yeah. So, yeah, of course you do, because we all got our tickets together, didn't we?
We did.
It's going to be horrible. I'm bringing over 2 of my girls. They're not to the game. My sister's picking them up. They're staying with my sister and my mum, my separate houses, for a couple of weeks. So we're going to be 2 children down. But my job was just to bring them over.
Who's looking after the dog?
Oh my! No, Serafina will be here. So yeah, Serafina and the other children will be here with the dogs. I'm going back on Sunday. But
right.
yeah, so that's
so the season is nearly upon us.
Yeah,
just around the corner. But yeah, because we don't know how busy I'm going to be next week and whatnot, we'll do some or the next few weeks. Let's quickly round up Birmingham City's season and a quick look at the season. So, where do you see us finishing after the record-breaking season last season, League One?
Someone else go first.
Yeah, okay, I will. I'm going to go. I'm thinking top 10. I think, like you said, Chris, earlier, everyone wants to see their football club promoted. I think you got to start. I think you got to want your team to get promoted. I just think I'll be happy with something, top third of the championship.
I would have said top half, but the way that we're trying to invest and what we're trying to do, I could actually see first place.
100 points, 100 goals.
112. We want the
112 goals.
No.
113. You want the record?
Yeah. World 112 world record. There we go. No, I could see playoffs. I mean, potentially beyond, but I really could if things gel well and things go right. I mean, it's the championship where it's super competitive, and from one week to the next, anyone can beat anyone. And the league, when you look at it with the last 6 weeks to go, it's just mental. We can do the job that we need to do, that we want to do, and we can build what we're trying to build. I don't see that there's any reason why we wouldn't be in those playoffs.
So short and sweet, top 24.
No, come on.
I think for me, I think it's very hard to look past Ipswich, even though they've lost a few players. I think it's very hard to look past Southampton, even though Will still is a bit of a question mark for me, despite how well he did in France and
Finally gets his
Belgium as well.
Belgium, yeah. He was born in Belgium, wasn't he? I think
something like that.
Finally gets his chance in England after years of everyone clambering for him.
Come on, Matthew, give us a number.
Sheffield United, I think, will be good, and I expect Coventry to be very good. I can't see top two. I think obviously we'd like to, but I think we're probably looking at playoffs. And you've got Leicester there as well, but I mean they could end up with like 12-point deduction, and they still might be up there. So be interesting. But yeah, for me, top six.
Do you think that the new signings are key to achieving that?
I think they will be, but maybe not as soon as we think. So
take a few weeks to get running.
I think the start of the season, the team will look fairly similar to the season, to last season's team that finished in League One, and then we'll probably see players coming in, and then the newer players coming in over time. I think they'll become far more important as the season goes on than at the start, and I think. Yeah, I think top six for me would still be a positive achievement, even if it's not quite the target the club are looking for.
So, Chris, one thing you're going to have to sort before you move house, or maybe at some point, we need to bring back the WAB prediction table.
Well, yeah, which we didn't. Have you got it there for last season's one?
I don't think it exists anymore.
Oh yes, come on.
I'm sorry.
You have done this, by the way, and people know that you won. We have done it already. Do you not remember?
No, we didn't show the table, did we?
I think we did. Yeah.
We'll show it again.
We can't.
For those listening on Spotify, can't. I know we've got the video on Spotify now, haven't we, as well? Yeah. So
yeah, if you're driving along, just take a look at your phone. Put the table. No, don't do that.
Anyway,
don't.
So what have you got? What have you got next? What's next for this upcoming season?
Right. Okay. Are we the next Ipswich? Back-to-back promotions.
I don't think so. I think it's very difficult to do that, as I said earlier.
I think it is, but it's completely like a bonkers league, and you don't know if you hit that bit of form. You never know. That's something that
I hope we do.
Yeah.
I genuinely hope we do, but I don't think we will.
So, relegated Premier League sides, are they automatic promotion contenders? You've mentioned Leicester, Southampton with Will still, Ipswich.
Yes.
All of them?
Yeah, I think so.
See, I was hoping that McKenna might have left for the Brentford job.
Yeah, but they went for their set piece Sky pundit instead.
So McKenna's still around in place. I think Leicester might be the one that might find. I can't see any of them doing a Luton. I think Leicester might be the one that struggle with the off the field issues, and if there's points deductions and what have you. So who do you think are going to be the top two? Dave, you can join in now as well while he's thinking if you want.
I think Ipswich for me, they've still got some work to do in their transfer window, but they've kept the majority of that squad together. They've lost some important players, but they seem to do pretty well in the transfer window. So I'll go Ipswich, and Southampton will be up there, but I'm just not sure. I've got just a gut feel for Sheffield United as well. It's going to be so tough. Thinking about it, because that Coventry team is good as well.
Oh, I'm gonna go Blues. Top. Aim high.
Okay, a minute ago you said playoffs, and now you.
Well, no, that was my like. Where are we going to finish? Playoffs and above.
Okay, Dave.
I mean, again, as Matthew said, there's so many teams it could be, and maybe my prediction of top 10 isn't as quite optimistic as you two. I said top 10. That could be anywhere in the top 10. So I might go Ipswich and us.
Top 2.
Yeah, top 2.
Oh,
Look at that.
I said top 10, but I didn't say where in the top 10.
No, we've reeled him in.
So
the
most important thing is that nowhere in this conversation is Wrexham. So
well,
good signing today, though, isn't it? Lewis O'Brien is a very good signing for them, which
a couple of
made me.
It
made me change my opinion of the style of football. I think they are looking to phase out of this agricultural, direct long ball style of football that Parkinson has employed with them over the past few seasons.
Can he do it? So this was, I don't know if we spoke about this on the pod a few weeks ago, but if I was Parkinson, I would have stepped down. I would have said, I've taken this is as far as I can go. No, like
That's very defeatist.
Step down a hero. You've brought them up all that way and just go, right.
I know what you're saying, but you just wouldn't do that. You just wouldn't do that.
No, he definitely won't.
You'd wait to get fired and get a lot of money from it.
If I was the club, I would have suggested to him to step down. Golden handshake. Here's a payoff.
We'll give you a job upstairs.
Yeah.
I know where you're coming
your
from.
Record in the Championship isn't that great. Your style of football probably won't suit it. We're going to try and go in a different direction.
But again, they've still got so much momentum behind them. Like, I never thought they would stick the way they did last season. I thought they would drop off.
Yeah,
and I thought that was going to be their ceiling, League One. And I mean, so wrong.
You okay?
Yeah,
sick a little bit in your mouth.
It was
talking about Wrexham promotion.
I think it was a hiccup or a burp. I'm not sure, but in the end, it ended up being nothing but just a little tiny chest pain. So if I die, I apologise. You guys will just have to go alone.
So, yeah, I think for me, last season was more about other teams dying off though than them pushing through. I suppose they did. But
momentum counts for a lot, actually, doesn't it? As well, I think, and that's one thing. It's one thing with us going into the Championship. You hope we carry on with that, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think I said it earlier, but with tearing a squad apart and rebuilding, that you can lose a bit of that sometimes because you haven't got that same the cause there, but the same group. So what have you got next? What's your next question?
So
something which has just come into the chat, which I saw earlier in there. Probably by the next time we get together for this, the first episode or couple of episodes of the documentary will have aired. Yeah. And Blues Fan TV season 2 for Blues Doc. Do we know whether they're going to be following us again this season? Is there going to be a season 2 of it, or?
We'll probably find out at Ipswich, won't we?
There's big cameras there.
Cameras there.
I would imagine they will.
I think the way these things work.
I imagine that they'll probably be filming it even if they haven't sanctioned the second series.
Yeah,
and
give me a
second they can always. Yeah. I think there will be. I suppose it'll depend on how the season pans out as well. And either way, there's drama, isn't there? So it's football. So we were going next, playoff contenders.
I've mentioned most of them already.
I don't think I even gave my top 2. I think
I said us. I thought you said Ipswich and Blues.
Dave said Ipswich. I think I might go us and Southampton.
Interesting.
Okay. So playoffs.
Blues, Coventry, Southampton. No, I don't see it. I don't see it, and I mean,
Wrexham.
No. Or one other, like who could? It's going to be a dark. There's always a dark horse, isn't there? Like I said Coventry already. I mean, maybe someone like Millwall. Just like as a dark horse. I mean, you can't.
Derby.
I mean, they've spent a little bit of money, haven't they? Bristol City were unfortunate last season to Middlesbrough. You don't know how they're going to do. Don't know what's going on at Norwich.
Just going back to my Phil Parkinson comment, JP has said my prediction is Disney struggle and Parkinson is in the bin come December time. In walks Michael Carrick to take the job. Now that's what. So when I was saying about him stepping down or them making him step down, that's what I thought, because that's what I can see happening. I can see them struggling, him struggling, and that sort of ending in tears.
It could well be his ceiling, and I think he's probably proved that it has been his ceiling previously. It's a different kettle of fish for the Wrexham thing.
Anyway, let's stop talking about Disney and Wrexham. Move on. Dave, did you say your playoff contenders?
I did not, to be honest. I've been more preoccupied by whose comment was it? I've just seen. Trevor Owens is the middle one a fan of Spinal Tap? Can you not see the Kneecap and Bob Villain records in the background? That should give you your answer. No,
don't bring politics into football.
Bring your music into a football podcast. Trevor, I'm a fan of amplifiers that go up to 11, but no.
Anyway, so playoff contenders, Dave.
You dropped that on me now. I can see Coventry being up there, like I said. You know, they've been their squad. You can see them maybe doing it. And it's whether Leicester are going to be dealt that points blow, or still or not. I'm not sure.
Because I still think they'll be good despite the points deduction. So I mean, I mean, it's not been dropped on them yet, has it? But
they've not been good for some time though.
But they've still got good players.
Have got good players.
So maybe those two in the mix as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, they've fallen through the trapdoor before, haven't they? They've ended up in League One before in similar circumstances, I think. So, I guess that's the next question: is it who's going to be relegated?
Relegation battles. Oh, so I'm just gonna throw in Oxford as potential playoff dark horses.
They'll probably finish 7th or 8th, though, won't they? Because it's Gary Rowett.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Go on then. Relegation.
West Brom.
West Brom, Stoke, and
Leicester.
So Sheffield Wednesday.
I can't see any of them doing a Luton, Leicester relegated.
Sheffield Wednesday. I think I'm so surprised.
All sorts of issues.
Danny Roll. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I'm surprised Danny Roll stayed actually, because they'd given his assistant an extension, and everyone was like, and like all the local media was like, we believe that. I think his name was something Pedersen. I can't remember. He's going to be taking over. He'll be the manager at Sheffield Wednesday going forward. And then like 3 or 4 days later, Danny Roll's coming back, and yeah. So I mean, I think there was some talk of the club being bought, and then it sort of died off again. So not sure what's happening there. But no, seriously, West Brom probably not. Portsmouth.
I forgot they were still up there.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, isn't it?
I mean, looking at it, Hull, I mean, scraped out of it last year, didn't they?
Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, you got to ask questions of Stoke, right? because Stoke are kind of like Blues or Blues previously.
Previous,
They've
Blues.
been they make stupid decisions in the transfer market. They've gone through multiple managers, and no one's been able to really get a tune out of them. Is it their time? Do they eventually drop?
It'd be funny.
I don't think they. From what I watched them
I've got
last
no love
season,
for
when
Stoke,
Mark Robbins took over them, I don't think they looked any better with him in charge.
No.
There's so many again. It's like with the playoffs, like down the bottom. There's just it seems so many teams you could get.
It's a
Like you said,
chaotic league,
Oxford.
isn't it? It's
I mean,
it's that the fact that with like 6 weeks to go, you can be mid-table, and then
Yeah.
with a week to go, you're right down there, and it goes to the last game.
So I'm gonna say Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke, and who's
You
taken
said
over?
Portsmouth originally.
I thought about Portsmouth. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen at Blackburn. Hull, as you mentioned there.
Preston have been
Dave.
mentioned in chat.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Heckingbottom, haven't they? I think if with a proper pre-season, I think he could. I think he might be all right. But yeah, it's going to be one of that lot. I would have thought. I mean, QPR have got a new manager. We don't know how they're going to be. Excuse me. Swansea have done. I don't think Swansea have done too much in the transfer window. I've not noticed. Watford seem to be in turmoil at the moment as well.
Yeah, I'm not going any of them. I'm going to go Charlton.
Can't see it. No, I don't see it for some reason.
I'm going to go Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they feel like nailed on to me. Sheffield Wednesday.
Wrexham.
You go Wrexham.
Did I say Wrexham for playoffs before? No, Wrexham.
No. I don't think. I think Wrexham might struggle, but I don't think they'll get
mid-table
relegated
or something. It'd just be funny on their documentary, wouldn't it?
Oh no, it would do. Yeah,
I actually watched that season.
It's like the Sunderland till I die stuff, isn't it?
So Steve Connolly's just said it's so tough predicting the championship, isn't it? And it really is, because you can't even predict it when there's 6 weeks of the season left.
Because for a while QPR were in danger of going down, weren't they? And they ended up 15.
And remember the seasons when they were like top 2 or top 3 for a while, and everyone they looked really, really good, and then they completely dropped off and nearly ended up getting relegated. So
they're another one that could be up there potential for playoffs this season. So
it's hard, it's hard to say. New manager and stuff. So
yeah, and signings as well. Obviously getting Poku. That
is that it?
That is our list for the season. So are we going to have an average score prediction for the games on Saturday?
Yeah, we should probably go back to once the transfer business is done and just laminate those choices.
Yeah,
because a lot can happen in the next few weeks. I mean, I think when is the transfer window shut? Middle August.
It's when it starts getting cold outside, isn't it?
It's I don't know,
a bit chilly.
It's cold already. Here. But yeah, we'll do.
Hang on.
It's because you're further north, Matthew.
We'll cement them.
Yes.
In place. We've had one come in. We'll do this one, and then we'll call it a day. If it goes to shit by January, do the board stick with Davis?
What defines shit?
Yeah.
I think we need to know what shit is.
It's something that we saw like 3 seasons ago. Bottom half of the table, maybe.
Bottom third.
I
mean, bottom half seems a bit harsh.
I mean, if we're bottom half,
bottom 2 quarters.
Yes, I think so. we've seen what they're like. They are ruthless. Yeah, I think again it's
bottom half. So ship goes to ship by January is bottom half. That's coming from BCFC Fan TV.
I think bottom. So there's and you've already said this. The championship is being bottom half in the championship, but you can be bottom half of the championship and be 6 points off the playoffs.
Yep.
So, I mean, if we were like 6 points off the bottom or 10 points off the bottom in January, then absolutely I could see them doing something. I hope that isn't the case, obviously, but they are ruthless. I think I don't know. I was going to say, do we have to be in danger of going down? But I wouldn't. I'd
stick with it.
Yeah, as long as we don't look like we're going down, I'd stay with it, and then you reassess in the summer and bring someone else in. But
I think that it matters what's going on the pitch as well. It matters what's happening on the pitch, because we could be out of luck in games, and you can see in games where you've been a bit unlucky, you've lost them, you've drawn them, and it could have been completely the other way, and you could be sailing high at the top of the table.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
if you just look completely shit all over the field, you just like, yeah, okay, let's
start. I think it was the start of Gary Monk's reign, wasn't it, where we weren't quite getting the results we were probably deserving, but you could see what he was trying to do, and you could sense that something was probably coming, and it did eventually until he got fired. But yeah, I think if you can see, we said this before, didn't we? Like a couple of seasons ago, when we knew we were going to try and change the style of play, etc. Like there has to be a bit of patience sometimes. As long as we're doing the right things, like the right things, or you'll get the right things from it as well. So, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them pulling the trigger and bringing someone else in.
I'm with you there. I think I wouldn't do it unless it looks like it's calamitous. But the businessmen that run it, I could absolutely see them pulling it. I mean, they brought in Rooney, and that didn't take too long to pull the trigger, did it? They could have quite easily given him the rest of the season.
No, a lot will be down to like how the fans react. I mean, they won't do it on the strength of how the fans are reacting, because no sensible businessman does something like that. But it means they know if the hardcore fans are turning, then
that goes hand in hand with what we're saying. That goes hand in hand with performances, and if you up against it, if the luck's not on your side, then the fans will say, "Oh, do you know what? We've done all right, but we've been unlucky," and they'll give you that leeway. If it just looks absolutely dreadful, then they won't. The fans will turn, and that's the point where it starts being difficult to come back from, and that probably is where they go, yeah, do you know what?
Anyway, enough of this negativity, because it's never going to happen, because we're going to be Champions League in 3 seasons.
First this season. First. So I've laminated it, as you said. I've already done it. I've put
Can't change it now.
I've put the C in brackets. 112 points. World record holders. There we go. And Kyogo top scorer.
16-1.
Yes. Maybe not now. Probably down to 10s or something, if people have had a little go on it. Get on that quickly. If you gamble, if you don't gamble, then good job for not gambling. I'm not promoting gambling.
Well done for not gambling.
But if you don't gamble, if you don't, there's still time to gamble.
So far tonight, I've encouraged watching Spotify while you're driving and gambling. So I haven't, though. They were jokes.
Anything else you want to get off your chest in terms of suggesting?
No. Just don't do drugs. Unless you really want to.
Okay,
good. Unless it's medication.
Unless it's
prescribed by your GP.
Yes. Heard there was a medical today, by the way. I imagine
there was, wasn't there?
Cashing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Call it a day. Do you want to some predictions, average predictions for Saturday's games?
An average,
No.
a total,
An average
a total
score.
result.
Yeah. So I'm going to go 3.5 to 1 to Blues over both games.
There's the half a disallowed goal.
No, that's like a 2-0 and a
Probably going to
4-0.
lose both games.
So a 2-1 and a 4-0. 3.5.
Right, let's not do this. Shall we say goodbye?
Yeah.
3.5, 1. There you go. Yes, let's say goodbye. Oh, also, while I think about it, I don't know if I sent you this.
I mean, to be fair, if you get to this far, into the podcast, you deserve to put it with this bullshit at the
end. You're gonna love this. I don't know if I sent it you, but I've been teaching my daughter this. Right, it's not gonna work. Hang on.
Let's play Keep Right On.
How cute's that? And she sings along now as well.
I think you've sent us that before. All I get is
Let's play Keep Right On.
Blues. I get my youngest just points to my badge and says Blues. And that is literally.
We expect by next time you're on, Chris, you have to remix that into a new segment or something.
Okay, I'll get her to sing.
Here's the cat.
Right. Good night, Rollins. Good night, Dave. Good night, Chewy. Good night, everyone who's tuned in and is still with us. Thank you for all the comments. And thank you to everyone for listening. We'll see you in a few weeks when I might be in a new house. Woohoo. Until then, keep right on.
Keep right on.
Keep right on.